So today I'm going to cut up this whole tenderloin. It's normally $15 to $17 a pound, already prepared and cut for you in most deli or butcher departments. Sometimes with the side muscle and the fat left on it, unfortunately. But we picked this whole tenderloin up for half the price. We're going to go ahead and cut it ourselves, trim it up really nice, and make it very lean, and still come in more economically feasible than buying this stuff for $17 a pound at the store. It's a tenderloin. It's skin on with the side muscle. We're going to trim it up real beautiful here, and all the stuff that we discard we'll use for stock or some flavor down the road. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull off this side muscle right here. It's side muscle, the side chain, the strap. There's a lot of meat in here, and it can be delicious, but for the most part, it's just going to be in the way. It's tough. It's got a lot of connective tissue, and there's a lot of gristle. It was silver skin, and I'll explain silver skin in a minute. Now we pull the side off that. We'll go turn it upside down and check on a few areas right here where you see this this other connective tissue, the silver or white pieces, and we'll cut that down here. And that looks pretty good. Feeling for any bones that might have been missed. Then we're going to come up to the head part, which they actually call the butt part, the butt tender of the tenderloin. Cut off any pieces that might have gristle or any bone cartilage or any bone that might be left over. We're going to go ahead and pull some of the excess fat or all the excess fat off, trying to not cut very much of the meat because it is a nice expensive cut. Right there. See, that would be a good example of something I'd like to cut away or get rid of. Then we're going to turn it over here, and we're going to peel off this silver skin, which is the toughest part of the tenderloin. So what I'm going to do now is pick up this nice fatty area and pull some of that up. And this is the silver skin at the top, which you really don't want to eat at any expense. Anywhere you go to eat at any high-end restaurant, they're going to go ahead and cut that off for you. If they don't, they should. And if you're buying the steaks at the store at a butcher and the silver skin hasn't been trimmed, well, you're paying too much for your meat, and it's just something you need to cut and get rid of. It is very, very tough, chewy, and almost inedible. So we got a few more pieces of the fat. You can leave the fat on if you like. You like the fat. It would create a little flavor when you're cooking. Create a little bit of juices, a little bit of oils. We got this little head part here where the silver skin comes into 3 pieces. So it's over the top, and it comes into this 3 pieces. And we're just going to cut into them just a little bit to try to get the silver skin out. Once we got it, we'll use our knife to get down in here. Try not to gouge the meat too bad. Using a nice sharp knife would be nice also. Now that we've pretty much taken all the silver skin off, and there's a little bit over here we can pull off. Sometimes you can use your hand. If not, you just get your knife under there, you get a piece up, and then you kind of use the silver skin to help you pull the itself off. It looks like it's fairly trimmed up. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take this tail part and cut that and discard it. We'll use this in some like stew meat, stir fries, or anything like that. It's a high quality piece of meat. And then over here where the head is, we're going to make this into a little roast. That's what I prefer to do. So I'm going to cut this right about here, and we're going to go ahead and save this for a roast. You can trim it a little bit more if you want along here, and try to get some of that tough the skin, the silver skin that's not very enjoyable to eat. So something like that's a nice little roast. There still is a little more silver skin in here if you want to take it off. If not, you can leave it the way it is. That's probably a 14 or 16 ounce roast. You can make it into a nice little Chateaubriand if you like, but a lot of times that's made out of the center cut. And this is the center cut of the tenderloin. And we're going to go ahead and take off this little piece over here, or this little lobe, and use that as some more stew meat. And now we're going to be able to cut some of these center cut skin off tenderloin steaks. So it's kind of small at the end here. So maybe you make like a 7-ounce or 6-ounce tenderloin steak. And then as it gets a little wider, we'll make some bigger cut steaks. Maybe some 10-ounce center cut steaks. What you're looking for in these center cuts are the marbling. The marbling is the white stuff running through here. And the more marbling, the better it is. This was a choice tender. They have Angus, black Angus. They have choice. They have prime. So these were choice tenders that have a good marbling running through the middle of it, and that's what you're looking for. Usually it's going to be a corn-fed, maybe Midwestern beef as opposed to maybe some of the other beefs that might be in Texas, which are more grain for that aren't corn fed, and usually it's a little bit tougher. Sometimes a little more lean. And then what we're going to do here is we got a little bit left over here. It's going to be tough to make a whole steak out of that. So we'll make another smaller steak to accommodate maybe a petite filet. So we're able to get 3 or 5 very nice steaks out of here. We have a little bit of stew meat we can make into a stir fry or some stew meat, and we have a roast. It's a fairly economical way. You're able to maybe reduce your cost by, I don't know, maybe 50 or 30% by trimming it yourself, being able to utilize all the beef, the strap, the trimmings, the fat, the silver skin. We'll go ahead and make that into a stock later, incorporate that in another dish. We're going to have 5 beautiful steaks, center cut, no fat, no side muscle, no silver skin, roast for 2 or maybe 3. That'll be another meal. And then if not, you can cut this into a stew meat or a stir fry, or you can make kebabs or any other thing you'd like to make out of it with it. It's an awesome piece. So I have 1 meal here for 2 or 3, and we have 2 more meals here for 2. So that's not a bad deal when you can go ahead and get a whole tenderloin. You get it yourself. You like to get choice or prime. Cut it down yourself. Keep the beef scraps, all the stuff that we discarded. We can make into some more flavors and have at least 2 to 3 meals out of this. And the good thing about it is you're able to pick the best steak yourself. And if you enjoy meat as much as I do, maybe having the center cut filet with the way you want it, the way you cooked it, the way you cut it, that's what you're looking for.